It's great to see you all here today for the final event of what has been billed as the 2009 Melbourne Motorshow Media Day, and it's the unveiling of the newest V8 supercar team on the grid for this year's championship, and a very exciting announcement too. Now, since time immemorial in this country's motorsport and car manufacturing have been joined at the hip, and nowhere is this more apparent than at Holden Special Vehicles, as we're all more than aware. Owner Tom Walkinshaw has invested tens of millions of dollars in the sport and returned a swag of Bathurst and championship titles through the Holden racing team and HSV dealer teams. While his road car operation has produced some of Australia's favourite luxury and performance cars, believe it or not, for over 20 years now. To start the proceedings, I'd like to introduce the CEO of Walkinshaw Racing, so would you please give a very warm welcome to Mr. Craig Wilson.
Thanks very much, Glenn, for that. Well, I'm delighted to be here today as part of the launch of this new racing team. When this car and team hits the grid at Clipsal, it'll represent our fourth factory-backed effort from Walkinshaw Racing, alongside Garth Tander and Will Davison in the Toll HRT race cars. Again, we'll be supporting Paul Dumbrell in the Autobahn racing car. The four cars will each represent their own marks and rights in their own way, but we're optimistic for the performance and outcome of all of them. I'm very proud standing here today from a Walkinshaw Racing point of view with regards to our ongoing commitment and support of V8 supercars. I think in a marketplace that is somewhat contracted this year with the result of the economic situation, to be able to stand here and announce a new team and new cars is a very exciting thing for us, and demonstrates the commitment that we have to the sport and the formula in this country. Walkinshaw Racing supports 5 other cars in the category, in addition to the 4 main cars that we have, and we have just on 100 people in our racing operations that all work tirelessly throughout the year in designing, preparing and maintaining the cars that we have. I guess the operational side of it is one thing, but the thing that we're also announcing here today as well with the team is a new driver that's joining our stables. I'm very happy to stand here today and say that we've decided to engage a young man who's already had a great deal of experience and success in his driving career. He's won the Formula Ford Championship a number of years ago. He's won the Carrera Cup Championship, I think the youngest ever driver, 2 years ago, and had a very solid year last year in the Fujitsu Championship. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to announce that David Reynolds will be joining the Walkinshaw Racing stable this year as our newest driver.
Thanks, Craig. Congratulations, David, too. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Now, you're quite comfortable with all this now, aren't you?
Oh, I'm sort of getting used to it, yeah.
Doing very well.
Feels like I'm on the sail, mate.
Yeah, you got what did I used to say? 30 seconds in time starts now or something. I forget you've forgotten that. Hey, we've got to say officially, welcome to V8 Supercars. It's fantastic for you, and it's obviously a very exciting part of your life to be a part of this year's championship.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. I'm just so thrilled to be part of such a great race team, and they've got such a good track record, and I hope to keep it up the track. Sorry.
That's right, I'm sure you do really well. Now, a lot of us know a bit about you, I personally because of the Carrera Cup influence and also the Formula Ford and all that sort of thing, and many who follow motorsport around the country will be more than aware of what you've achieved. But I was saying earlier, for an Albury boy, he actually speaks very well, I think you'll agree. But tell us a little bit about your career and how you got into it, and how it got you to where you are today.
Well, I was born and bred in Albury, Wodonga, and I started racing go-karts in '91 when I was 6, so it's been a big progression since then. And since from go-karting went to Formula Ford and became Australian champion at 2004, and then from Formula Ford went to Carrera Cup racing Porsches, and it's such a good category, and as you know, it's such a good category to watch and great cars to drive. And then in 2007 I became champion, and then last year I did Fujitsu V8 Supercars, and I had a pretty good rookie year and learned about the cars, and it's good to step up in the main game.
Can I just ask you a little bit about the early days, because your dad's pretty well known in the area as a racer?
Yeah, Dad was a dentist, so we had a bit of extra cash and went go-kart racing. And, I sort of owe a lot of support and thanks to him.
Yeah. And has he been a solid supporter of the family behind you, or have you been a case of, I've been wanting to go car racing? Well,
Mum used to sit at home and worry, and Dad used to take us go-karting all up the East Coast and all around Australia, and we sort of did it on and off for 10 years, and it was a big family. My brother came along racing as well, and he still races karts right now and runs a go-kart shop, and we're still heavily involved into it, so it's been real good.
And what's always been the goal? Where have you wanted to get? Like, this is a pretty good step.
I've always wanted to win V8 Supercars, and this is a good step for me.
Fantastic. Hey, as far as looking forward to getting behind the wheel and under the covers, you're looking forward to getting behind that one?
Yeah, I can't wait to roll it out at Clipsal, and I just want to thank Walkinshaw Performance for the great opportunity and support they've given me over the past couple of years. It's been fantastic.
It's a great step up, and you'll do very well. We'll talk to David again in just a moment. There are a couple of other things to do, but ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and wish him well. Now, speaking of which, our next speaker represents a company with a long and proud history of being involved in Australian sport through their support of Australian Rugby Union and Rugby League from a grassroots level through to a national level as well. Guess who it is? I can't figure it out. A supporter of the V8 Supercar series over the past 2 years, this year sees them increase their involvement in the series through the great opportunity to partner with Walkinshaw Racing. I'd like to announce that Bundaberg Rum will this year back David Reynolds in the number 24 Walkinshaw Racing Prepared VE Commodore, which is the newest product, Bundaberg, with their newest product, which is known as Bundaberg Red. And to tell us a little bit about it and a little of their plans, would you please welcome Matt Brun, who is the sponsorship manager for Bundaberg Rum, just to say a couple of words.
I always enjoy this bit. The sponsor gets to speak for about 30 seconds, but pays all the cash. As Glenn mentioned, and he forgot to mention, we're the naming rights sponsor of bull riding in this country as well, which is my favourite sport. But Bundy has and will continue to invest a lot of money in Aussie sport. I've been privileged enough to work on the brand for about 5 years, and this is about my 4th announcement of this style, from rugby union to rugby league. We are proud to be an Aussie brand and proud to put money back into Australian sport. Last 2 years we've been involved with the series, and this year we get the opportunity to work with the team. A chance encounter with the guys from HSV led to a great opportunity for 2 Aussie icons to get together. And when given the opportunity to work with such a great brand, Bundy just jumped at the chance. During tough times, it's important that big Aussie brands help and work together to build great teams. We're lucky enough to have a great new driver, a great new product in Bundy Red, and build this great new team, which we'll unveil later. So we wish Bundy, we wish David the best. We know he'll do well because he's from the bush like us. And we trust that we're going to have a good series. We really love the fact that the series is expanding into Townsville and the Homebush Street race. So without further ado, let's get racing.
Sorry, Matt, I've got to ask, because there's nothing worse than stuffing something up, and I apologise for not realising that major sponsorship of the...
Bull riding.
Bull riding.
Bull riding.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you said something else. I was wondering for a while. Tell me where it goes.
The bull riding, it's national, country based, mainly Queensland. I think you guys, it's the Professional Bull Riders Association, the PBR. Not to take away from the V8s because it's an exciting sport, but when a man gets on a big bull, it's very exciting.
I'm sure it would be. On that note, please thank Bundaberg Red. In fact, guys, you've got to do some work now. We've got to, Dave and also Matt, if you can please officially unveil the car. All right, Dave, there it is. Pretty good looking car.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, and it's good to have a race car on the roads that always goes faster.
It certainly does. Now, can you tell us a little bit of history on that particular car? Which one it is?
This is Rick Kelly's car from last year, and it's the one that Paul Radisich crashed and had that massive accident, put him in hospital, and he was well gone for a good couple of months, and then they remade it, and Rick won the last race. We had it at Oran Park, so it's it's a very good car, and I just can't wait to drive it.
So in a way, you've virtually got a new car in your hands then.
Well, basically, yeah, it's been built from the ground up since the Bathurst crash.
Now, if I can ask about responsibilities in the association with something like Bundaberg Red, that's a fantastic sponsor to have on board.
Oh yeah, it's a massive iconic brand to be associated with, and I thank them for their support throughout the year, and I just can't wait to get on the track.
And lastly, I've got to ask the question: what's your goal for this year?
I'm not expecting to win races straight away, but I do expect to go as far up the grid as I can and work closely with the team and do the best job we can.
I think you'll agree, anyone who's followed David's career over the years from Formula Ford and also Carrera Cup and Fujitsu, he'll certainly do very, very well. So please, once again, would you please join me in thanking Dave and also wishing him the best for the year. Well done, Dave. Congratulations. Now, she was threatening to push the buzzer when I asked a question, so you missed the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude, I would like to thank the following sponsors who are obviously very, very important on these occasions, and particularly are represented here today. Holden Special Vehicles, Mobile One, Bridgestone, Purple Peak, Harbour IT, Freightliner, Detroit Diesel, Fuso, Blue Star Print, Puma, RPM, Uvex, PBG, Fleetmark, Can't Tear 'em, and VACC. So could you please put your hands together and thank them for their support of this team as well.
Well, David, congratulations on the announcement today. I mean, you've been working at this for a while. I mean, how big a step is this in your career?
Oh, mate, this is the biggest step I've made in my career, and it's just going to be such a great chapter this year, and I'm looking forward to getting underway.
You've come out of the Fujitsu series last year. I mean, what did that teach you about driving these cars compared with what you've driven in the past, like Carrera Cup and Formula Ford?
It taught me there's a lot of things you can do differently to make them go faster, and there's a lot of things you can do to make them go slower. But all in all, it's a challenging category, and yeah, the cars are fantastic, and the team's great, and they're all real supportive of me, and I just can't thank them enough.
So the rumour's been around for a while that you were going to get this sort of opportunity. When was it the first time you heard that? When did you talk to them and they said, "Look, this might be happening for 2009"?
Yeah, it has. We have been talking about it for a long time, and it's just finally good to announce it. I sort of got told about it maybe late December, and yeah, we sort of just been in and out of conversation for a good couple of months, and here I am standing announcing it. It's just wonderful. It's just great.
So how long is the deal for?
Can't say yet, but we'll announce that later.
So what are your plans now between now and Clipsal? I mean, obviously testing is very limited now. There's a launch and an open day up at Winton. Is that going to be your only opportunity, or will you have other opportunities before you get onto the streets of Adelaide?
Oh, well, I'm also racing Porsches in New Zealand, so I'm always, racing something, and we've got a 2-day test the 9th and 10th of March down at Winton, and that's to iron out all the bugs, and for me to get used to the team and the car, and it should be good. We only get that many days a year, or we only get a limited amount of days a year, so you can't burn them all up at once. So you've got to plan them out throughout the year, and it's just going to be a fantastic year. It's going to be unbelievable.
Everybody's dream, of course, would be to come in and win races, win the championship in one year. Realistically, I mean, what are your goals at this time next year? If we're talking to you here, how would you sort of say, yes, last year was a successful year? What sort of results are you looking for?
Mate, everyone wants to come in, wants to win the championship, win races straight away. But that's a lot of hard work, and the guys right up the top have been doing it for a long time. So I just want to chip away at it and get I just want to get consistent performances together, and work with the team as best I can and try and get up the grid.
Well, good luck with it for 2009. No doubt we'll have you hopefully in the studio a little bit later on in the year, find out how it's all progressing. But for now, David Reynolds, thanks for joining us in Pit Lane.
Thanks for having me on the show. Thanks, mate. Cheers.